All right, let's run this. I might as well. I've been walking the streets my whole life. Somehow I'm still walking. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a special edition of the Lovable Lunatic Lounge. This is Making Heaven Out of Hell, My Experience, Strength, and Hope. This is part one of my two-part documentary. Now, I went to make this video the other night, and I'm not going to lie, that shit was lit. Like, that shit was live, and I did a little mini live Facebook live version, but I didn't get out everything I wanted to, so I'm gonna run this in a two-part series and hope it uploads, and I hope you guys enjoy it, because at the end I'm gonna take my bow and show you how to survive. So let's run it. I grew up, spent some time in Norristown. I lived most of my life. I lived in Lebanon County, PA. I ran the streets. I was a very active kid, played baseball, soccer, basketball, football, you name it. My dad got me into sprint car racing at a very young age. That was our passion together, that and professional wrestling. Growing up, I wanted to be either a professional wrestler or a sprint car driver. Never really panned out, but hey, it's never too late anyway. Had a good family. I had a sister named Amber who I don't really talk to these days because, my niece and nephew are like my kids. Not to make this a long story, but long story short, if you neglect my children, like if you push your own kids who I love as my kids aside, yeah, that's out. Like, I don't do that shit. Like, that sounded weird. That sounded like I'm on some West Virginia shit. Hell no. What do he look like? I ain't no country motherfucker. I spent some time in the country. There's good money to be made out there. I'm not going to front. But that's not what this is about. You're not going to get war stories here. You're not going to get all the good times. I bagged so many bitches and horse shit. Nah. That's out. That's not a thing here. That's not a thing. So, I don't talk to my sister. I hear she's doing well, but you can't tell me shit anymore. You gotta fucking show me, because I've been through too much shit, and every time I take people on their words because of the kindness in my heart, I get fucked over. And you know what? I don't like to be fucked by anybody that isn't the female of my dreams that I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with at this point in my life. I'm grown, motherfucker. That's out. We don't do that here. That's not a thing. I ain't having it. I ain't with it. All right, so family life was good. Then around 11 years old, it wasn't so good. Mom and dad started fighting. My dad lost his eye when I was 10 years old, a freak accident fixing the sofas. My dad had a string of bad luck. My dad was a steel worker for UARCO. And when UARCO shut down, a lot of you people from Lebanon might remember the UARCO plant. Alcoa opened up, and he was making really good, legit money. He was happy. He burned his hand in the fall of '97. This was a great year for me. I met one of my racing idols, Stevie Smith. He gave me his hat in Victory Lane, signed it for me. I still have the picture with him at my mom's. It was beautiful, glorious day. But my dad burned his hand bad, and then the next year he was fixing the sofa spring on my mom's couch. And granted, my mom's car's squeaky as hell, right? So he heard her pull up, and that's it. He lost his, he looked up, boom, sofa spring got him. After that, things went downhill. My dad turned to the bottle. He became, not gonna front, a little abusive, especially verbally. My dad, that I know of, unless my mom never told me, never laid a finger on my mom. He got her in her face a couple times, but laying hands, that was not a thing. That he didn't play that. So anyway, I started my drug and alcohol use. I started drinking beer. My dad would sneak me beers when we would go to the hotel ourselves, and one of my good friends from Norristown, I went up there to visit him. He had himself a lick, and I copped. I smoked with him. It was then that things really spiraled out of control. Let me fast forward here to my mom and dad ended up getting divorced later in 99, 2000. Let's fast forward to about 2003. I was about 15. I was at a party at one of my best friend's house, and I tried cocaine for the first time. I was instantly hooked. I instantly took the bet. I did not mix it. It wasn't a slow jam. I didn't make love to her. I took the panties right off her. I powdered. I gave her that dirty deeds. You know what I'm saying? That bow hammer. And I was loving it. And the fast life. That's what I wanted. I was always out. I was never home. So later in 2003, I lost one of my good friends, Cakes, Fat Andy, over a girl that didn't want it. Have we all been there? I'll get into that later. Hold on one second. Appreciate you. So how much time do I got here? Oh, I got plenty of time. I want to make this under 20 minutes, the first part. So he passed away, and then my addiction really, I started popping prescription pills. My dad's mental health was declining, so he was in and out of Phil Haven and the VA, the Veteran Hospital. Just couldn't get himself. He'd do well for so long, then go back to his wall of depression, wouldn't talk, wouldn't eat, wouldn't take care of himself, nothing. Got up to take a piss, take a shit, that was about it. It was really sad to watch my dad dwindle like that. Saddest thing was I was robbing him blind and taking advantage of it. Yeah, what kind of son that says their dad is their best friend, which my dad was my best friend. What kind of son would do that? Yeah, not a good one, that's for sure. I was I was an outgoing kid, but at that time, I started to do kid shit. I started wondering, what would this be like? So I started to experiment with different stuff with females. Lost my virginity later at 15, and that was a whirlwind. Once something happened for me, it escalated. It wasn't a slow transformation. It was a boom, boom, pow. So from 15 to 18, I went from having no sex partners to about 9, just like that. I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but in a 2-year stretch, yeah, it's not such a good thing at that age. Not very proud of that. I'm proud of being able to say what I can the last half, but so fast forward just after my 18th birthday, my home life's fun. My mom gets remarried. I treated the guy like shit. I acted as if I basically threw the title that he was my second father, and I resented him for it. My dad just wanted to take care of himself. October 20th, 2006, one of the days etched in stone. I was supposed to come over to his house. I did. He didn't answer his phone or the door. So I went to hang out with my buddies in Jonestown, did some coke. Came back to my dad's. He was passed away on the couch. I had to see the vision. He had a heart attack, long story short. The EMS came to revive him. It was too late. They tried to tell me he had overdosed on his prescription pills, which wasn't having that. That's not a thing at all. My dad would not do that. He wouldn't take his medication as is. Why the fuck? So we did an autopsy. Autopsy came back 4 days later. It was a heart attack, not prescription pain, not prescription pill related. This was a really sad time for me, and now it's hard to get emotional over stuff like that because I finally learned to cope with it. For the longest time, I blamed myself for my father's death. I pointed the resentment at me, I did all this bad shit to him, and no matter what I would have done, I'd come to the grips that my dad wasn't getting any better. He was just getting worse, and he is in a better place. I know today he's watching down on me. I hope he's proud of the man I am. So the funeral was hard. I tried to make the best of it. My best friend Curtis at the time, he was there for me. I made my dad a promise with tears in my eyes I would make him proud someday. Yeah, that wasn't working out too well for him, to say the least. started smoking crack. Doing coke wasn't good enough. I started smoking crack. Had tried bath salt. Bath salts was just becoming a thing. I believe this was when Bad Boys 2008-ish. Really bad stuff there. I was robbing. Thought it was cool fucking with people's girls, fucking with livelihoods, and I got my ass beat. I got jumped by 6 dudes. I got stabbed in the abdomen area. That's why my abdomen would be the same. I was told I was lucky it didn't go about 3 inches deeper, because if it would have hit a main artery. If it would have went like further front, if he would have stabbed me in the front and the chest plate, I could have bled out. Very grateful that I was saved by God. That was the first time. I mean, I've been in a lot of car accidents, drug overdose situations that you ask, like, how the fuck did you survive that, dude? I don't know. Somebody's on my side, whether it's my father, whether it was my ex-fiance, who later, I'll get into that later. I'm going to wrap up part 1 here. Getting into my 20s, smoking crack was a big thing for me. I was introduced to heroin around 2021. I had my own apartment in Annville. This was about 2009, 2010. I was dating this girl, Kim, and it was toxic as fuck. I was with her just to be with her, because my ass didn't want to be alone. I didn't know how to comprehend feelings or cope with real life situations, so I needed somebody to wipe my ass. I'm not going to lie about that. It was wrong because I didn't have any feelings for her. We had sex. We were together 4 years. I drug it out that long. She cheated on me with one of my friends, which is cool because I didn't care. The first time we were together, broke up, and then got back together. We were together like 4 years. The first time, cheated on her. I did the dirty thing, getting really drunk. Called her phone as I was banging this broad. Let her hear, really sadistic, manipulative shit. So, she's a good girl, don't get me wrong. She has her wicked ways, but don't we all? So, I wish her no harm. She's somebody I'd rather not speak to, but if I ever ran into her, I'd give her a hug and say, you know what, thanks for the love when I couldn't love myself. You know what I'm saying? That lasted till about 21, 22 years old, right? 22. I was just about to turn 23. Broke up with her around August or September, right? I think right after my 23rd birthday. I was working at the Hershey Lodge. I was an assistant manager. I had worked my way up. I started as a server assistant / server. I basically did everything in the Bears Den restaurant, Hershey Bears themed restaurant. Really perfect for me. I love sports. I love the whole entertainment scene. It was great. We had DJs come in there. We had some sports trivia. We were getting it popping in that joint. It was pretty cool. For those of you that know the Hershey area, know what the Hershey Lodge is about. Around 2012, I left to go to the Hotel Hershey for more money, and I hated it. We had a 5-day grace period, and mind you here, my use was not a problem. I actually got my shit together for the most part. I was smoking weed rarely, drinking rarely. My life had somewhat manageable. I was responsible. I was holding down a good job. I had come back to the Hershey Lodge because I wanted more, and I talked to my bosses there, and they all said, yeah, we want you to move up. We didn't want you to leave. Like, we tried to tell you, like, stay with us. I know you want the instant gratification, but stick with us. We'll make it worth your while. So they eventually did. And that's where I'm going to leave this. Well, actually, no. 2012, around May, June-ish. I was working day shift at the time to satisfy Kim, try to make the relationship work. I had met this girl named Melissa Karen Iceman, sweet Southern Belle. I always want to be a Southern Belle with a sassy attitude, but a golden haul. She could light up a room the instant she walked in. Instant she walked. She was one of the most beautiful thing I had ever seen at the time, right? Me and her started talking. I started finding myself picking up double shifts, working till what we call volume, meaning when it slows down, you leave if you've been there since the morning, just so I could spend a couple hours vibing with her, kicking it, you know, getting to know her. And that was going good. It was around this time, September, October-ish. I had broke up with Kim. And Alyssa and I started talking heavily, and Kim got her number out of my phone and was texting her, hey, we're trying to work it out, which was not the case. I made a mistake, went over there, was gonna have sex with her one night, and I looked, I was like, yo, this is wrong. I have feelings for this chick, like, and she got jealous. So I left my phone unattended, and she hit her with the Mickey Mouse fucking Cabbage Patch Kid bullshit, you know what I'm saying? But we worked through that, and Alyssa and I continued to grow. And that is where the story will leave for now. Yeah, so that is part one of my journey. I hope you do enjoy that, and I can't wait to give you guys part two. Until next time, this is your lovable lunatic, your favorite lunatic, Exxon Eddie Bainey. I'll see you again soon.